For those that don't know me, my name's Travis Rogers, been in the dental industry for, over 20 years. I'm going to work this magazine cover for quite a while. I know a few of you have copies of it. It was great to see a bunch of people last week in West Palm Beach at an event that I spoke at and helped organize with a group. I run a group called Dental Venture Capital. We're not an actual dental venture capital firm, but I do get everybody ready for dental venture capital. The love for me is when I get a startup earlier on in their process to make sure that they're building the right product, because I've seen a lot of people launch products in the industry that didn't have product market fit. They were just building something because they thought it was a great idea, but let's make sure somebody's going to pay you for that idea. So we take companies from idea to exit. Been doing this informally for about 15 years, but formally for about a year, and have some clients on and have very happy customers and really love what I do every day. Every company we work with is in a different place. Two of them we're selling. Several of them are at the idea phase, but for the most part, most people come and work with me and my team during kind of the launch and scaling phase. So on this event, each company that is in my program gets 10 minutes to pitch. If there's anybody else that wants to pitch, you can pitch for free. We always love to learn and meet new people. So with that said, I am going to turn on the clock here, and Vajahat Yarkhan, the darling of the West Palm Beach event last week. This guy brought me to tears. I've never cried in a business environment. If you guys have never seen me cry, I'm an emotional, I care about what I'm doing, but seeing him pitch and just how well it went and knowing him as long as he has, that was a great event. And again, he's the only man work-wise that I've ever cried over.
It was
Women make me
spontaneous
cry, or
and
my kids, but never a work environment. So yeah, that was fun.
it was spontaneous, and I think it was like really emotional for me too. Primarily because, okay, I've been coming to these online pitch events with you. And again, this is the first time I pitched in these online pitch events. And West Palm Beach was my first live event to pitch. There was a lot of encouragement and there was a lot of support from everybody. And I was emotional myself. I know how I carried myself. But at the end of the day, I think we were all genuine in there, including you. I just felt that connection with you too. Absolutely. We have a friendship since last 10 years. And then what we have built over these last 10 years is amazing. So Thank you for being a friend. Thank you for being a mentor. And I really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart.
Appreciate it, buddy. All right. Now let's get you started. You ready with your PowerPoint? Ready to go?
Yes.
All right.
Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay. My name is Vajahat Yarkhan. I'm a board-certified pediatric dentist by training, and originally from India. I came to the US in 2004 with just $85 in my pocket. I had no way to know if I will be able to pay my first semester tuition. So the journey began from there, and it continued unhindered, continuously, with a lot of ups and downs that came in life, including Katrina, where we have a Katrina baby in our house. And eventually, after I joined as a faculty at UT Houston, 3 years into it, I decided to get into private practice. One practice led to the second, to the third. And then right around the third practice, I decided to pivot into RCM space because I was having a lot of difficulties with dealing with the growth of the practices. And then that led to formation of a managed service organization, USA Dental Solutions. We started with 5 people and then extended it now to 350 people that are catering 175 practices, all these back office operations based in India. When we were at like 50 people, we decided to pivot again and create a technology so we can manage people on this technology and give them pointers as to where the strong points are, where the deficiencies are, and provide them with a proper track to success. So that created DentTracks, which is an AI-powered integrated dental operations ecosystem. We are not a patient management software, but a total aggregator of a patient management software. we solve problems. We all know that there are problems in the dental operation space, most of them related to revenue cycle management and other operational sides that lead to about 7 to 13% of revenue loss, primarily related to inadequacies in operations. A lot of that is related to the staff shortages, inadequacy of training of the staff, productivity management, and increased expenses. So how do we solve this problem? We bring in a complete ecosystem and integrated solution that deals with everything related to operations, if not also some other aspects of clinical operation. But what we focus on is a multi-tenant, single login platform where you can onboard a single practice, you can onboard multiple practice, hundreds of practice under one organization. You can toggle between practices, you can toggle between modules. Here, what are all the modules that we have right now in our ecosystem, and we are expanding continuously. I've been talking about this ecosystem for the last 3 years, and I think that the market has come to us to a stage right now where they are thinking to consolidate. So everybody is working towards consolidation of these ecosystems. Nobody wants a single feature, a single trick pony anymore. They don't want to learn it. It's a big expense to have people be trained on it. So our journey with our system begins with that first phone call, whether you're advertising on Instagram or Meta or Google business page or any place on the web. We capture that into a marketing funnel, which is in DentCom, which is a communication patient engagement platform that we have. And that lead is captured, that's nurtured, and then delivered to the chair. With the usage of AI, with the usage of metrics that are based on AI, once that patient comes into the pool and that patient sits on the chair or is made an appointment on the system, we do an automated dental insurance verification. We do it at 3 different levels. And those levels are actually from basic to all the way to the advanced levels. So once that particular eligibility is done, and for the level 3, we do involve our teams right now. You have a ticketing system within the module, and the ticket is raised to do like a detailed EV. We do it right away with our teams. We are putting as much AI as we can into this because everybody is talking about AI and human errors that are being made in the system. Dentistry, just by the nature of it, is not at that stage where you can completely automate everything. What we are saying is, okay, you can keep the human element, you should keep the human element, but make it so efficient that you're eliminating mistakes. And with those mistakes, you're eliminating loss of resources and profitability. So once insurance verification is done, you can submit your claims through DentSend, and we give you real-time claim statusing. After the claim is submitted, we make sure that the money is received. Once the money is received, we automatically reconcile your accounts that you have in whichever bank you have. We have like true integrations with banks in the US, and we help you reconcile automatically with the click of a button. And you're able to see it in your dashboard, which are the items that are reconciled, which are the checks returned, which are the possible cash embezzlements, or third-party payers that have taken the money away. And you'll be surprised how many of these we catch on a daily basis and bring it in front of the business owners. We have a very cool provider management, lab case management, cash management, and now an ortho management piece within dent accounts, which are all different levels of pain points in a dental operations for a dental office. After revenue is received in the accounts, there are some items that are not paid, they're partially paid. Those flow into the buckets and they go to DentRev within 30, 40, 60, 90, 120 and over buckets. And we are able to follow the whole life cycle of the claim all the way to a point where the balance of the patient becomes 0. So there the revenue cycle ends. If there's a need for a statement to be paid, sent to the patient, we help you send the statement to the patient. And then the other pieces we have in here is a compliance piece where we are able to deliver you the notifications related to different resources you have in your offices for compliance, whether it's CE credits or HIPAA compliance, needle stick injuries, spill, any kind of incident in the office. All of that is notified, and a track and documentation is created and kept within one particular platform. Then we have Dentalytics, but our analytics are tied directly to different modules. So what it means is that everything is workable, everything is predictive analysis and workflow. It's not just analytics. We help you take that analytics piece that can help grow your practice all the way to actual growth of the practice. Then we have an incentive tool. You have to reward your employees to keep growing. So we've created a very futuristic incentive tool which takes into account the business growth of the practice as well as the reputation growth of the practice. So we reward your employees with all the efforts that they are making within the organization to get your reputation up, whether it's Google reviews, whether it's testimonials, whether it's TikTok videos. All of that gets posted through our platform onto the web, and they get rewards for that. Apart from if they're upselling any type of case, if they're bringing in new patients, if they're closing big contracts like ortho or all-on-4s and stuff like that, they get points for that. And all of that is visible on the dashboard for them along with the business owner. So that completes the whole ecosystem. And that's why I say that the silo technology that's out there is going to be completely eliminated eventually, or they will have to aggregate data from other sources to be able to provide a full solution. And we already have this solution. And then we are in the market, we are acquiring clients, and we are in a state where we are becoming the forerunners of what we are trying to do. So that's our tech stack, very futuristic, very advanced. We all know about TAM Samsung for the dental tech in the industry. I'm not going to go into the details of that, but our primary target market is all of it. We can cater to a single practice. We can cater to multiple practices and DSOs. This is our competitor analysis. We are trying to just continuously improve and keep growing what we need to grow in terms of our ecosystem. Our revenue drivers, like everybody else, is conferences and places where we can get. We are asking for $5 million for 20% of equity at a valuation of $25 million. We are saying that we are going to be able to have a projected valuation, which is 8 times the EBITDA in 5 years' time. So we are giving an ROI of 16 times of what you're going to pay to us, which is $5 million within 5 years at less than 4% of TAM. So if we are able to acquire 7,500 clients, we will be able to reach those revenue numbers. And then the time limit that we are projecting for that is 5 years. We are going to do budget allocation according to this, where we are spending most of the money on sales and marketing teams and conferences. $3.5 million is going to go in that. 50,000 will go to further development on AI and continued sustained engineering. And then the rest of the money will go into tech support teams. So this is the revenue model, and I can share it with whoever is interested. We are going to be in a loss for the first year, and then going forward from the second year, third quarter, we're going to hit profitability. The EBITDA at the end of it all will be about 50%. This is our leadership team. Very grateful to Travis to join us. Then we are continuously looking for advisors, KOLs, and partnerships so that we can continue to expand our ecosystem and help practices put the money in their own pockets.
All right. We got about a minute left for questions. Any questions for Wajahat?
I usually have to rush through these presentations because I have a lot to show in my second slide, because I have to explain each and every item on the ecosystem as a module. So if anybody is interested in any demo, or if you want to look into greater details of what kind of features each module has, be happy to connect. The link for the demo is on my LinkedIn page, and my calendar is on the LinkedIn page. Please feel free to contact me, and I'll be happy to connect.
Yeah. And I dropped Wajahat's contact information and the website in the chat as well. Looks like Paige Mead is interested in joining you as an advisor.
I'll get in touch with you, Paige, and thank you for showing the interest.
Travis, I had a question for Dr. Khan in a minute.
Absolutely.
I see a big chunk of the use of the ask is going to be applied to sales and marketing. Have you thought through how you plan to commercialize the product? Tell me a little bit about your thoughts on how you plan to scale the product commercially.
Yeah, so I have created a go-to-market strategy, and part like the maximum money that will be used is primarily going to be within these. So basically, I'll make a sales and marketing team, most importantly. That will be the first step. And then as we expand our sales and marketing reach, we will be going to these conferences and we'll try to just tackle it all these big companies are doing. So that's why my money is going to be spent in most of sales and marketing to my go-to-market strategy. So basically, we'll have these many people that will be hired. I don't know if you're able to see my screen, but the plan is to hire a full-scale team. I don't have anybody right now in sales and marketing. We've been doing demos ourselves, me and my advisors, and we have been in the market for the last 2 months. And we already have 27 paying clients. On the managed services side, we have about 175 clients, and they all are willing to actually adopt DentTracks because they already receive reports from DentTracks. Our team that are doing managed services for them are creating these reports from the use of DentTracks, and they are being sent to them right now in PDF forms because we have not opened it to them yet, because I do want to have a proper setup to be able to provide support, to be able to provide sales, handhold these customers, whatever is necessary for us to provide to them so we can continue to keep them as customers. We have had a great success with the managed services side, and that is what we want to continue to build. So it's like a foot in the door through managed services. That works for us because we are providing resources, and we have a complete revenue model for a combination of DentTracks with the managed services. And we have a separate revenue model for just DentTracks, which is a SaaS product. So both of those things work, and we are willing to talk to our investors if they're wanting to bring in both the sides of the story into one mix.
All right, we've got to move on. Mark Amiola from FM. All right, Mark, you are up.
Okay. Let's get this going here. Hey, thanks, Travis. I appreciate the introduction. Let me give you a little bit of my background. I spent the last 35 years as a consultant, really working with businesses to manage risk with a focus on environmental health and safety. In order to be able to do that, you really have to understand practices and procedures and workflows. So my objective when working with practices is always a couple of different things. Number one, to increase efficiency of the operation, improve the data visibility and the accuracy of the information that we're developing, right? And help drive effective decision-making. Ultimate goal is to reduce identifiable risk for both the patient, the professional staff, and for obviously the practice. Our company, Ethics, was born about 4.5 years ago. And the way we did it, we self-funded in the beginning here. And I worked with our co-founder and CTO, Michael Gutkin. We've known each other for over 30 years. Our mission was to make dental practice safety and compliance simple by automating specific workflows and processes. We wanted to help organize and analyze data to deliver actionable insights. This is important. Detect risks early, reduce incidents. The overall result is really to reduce administrative burdens, related costs, and liabilities. One of the things that we're looking at, what are the problems? What are we seeing as the problems today? And I call them really critical business issues that create problems and liability for dental practices. What are the reoccurring themes that we're seeing today? I'll tell you, number one, which is interesting, and generally post-COVID, we really saw this, poor worker engagement, high staff turnover. We see levels for dental and hygienists and assistants at almost 35% annually. So what do we see? There's obviously a growing demand for dental professionals. It's a very competitive market. And certainly the practices have retention strategies that can include competitive wages, flexible schedules, positive work environments, career enhancement. But when we've actually talked to practices and employees, today's employees are looking for technology that improve the efficiencies, reduce the paperwork, and increase time spent with patients. Also, one of the second areas that we see is inability to meet timely regulatory and compliance reporting requirements. Look at some of the legal exposure under HIPAA, security and privacy breaches. Take a look at infection control, probably new pandemic rules that are going to come out, whether state, federal, local. These are all things that we have to be aware. And then I think one of the final things is lack of data visibility. I think Dr. Yarkon talked a little bit about that, how data is collected, stored, and utilized to really help drive proactive decision-making, improve those efficiencies, and reduce that operational risk. What are people currently doing today? How are practices managing these areas? In a recent survey, 60% of dental practices surveyed were still using spreadsheets and written logs if they were doing anything at all. And what we see is when they did use siloed software, it really lacked the ability to communicate effectively. So what is it that we do? We believe for busy dental practices, Ethics is a comprehensive solution that automates tasks, reduces the paperwork, and frees up staff to focus on patients. We want to identify, manage, mitigate the risk, streamline workflow management, and really provide that insight that is necessary to really drive the business in proper results. When we look at our solution, this is our dashboard. We're looking at real-time insight into the dental practice, simplifying compliance in a single, comprehensive, cloud-based platform. And you can see here, we're seeing things like training. We can customize that, and we have all the modules up on top, all included into the software solution. So when we talk about single integrated suite of intuitive and robust dental compliance management tools, what we're trying to accomplish is help foster better communication and collaboration among our team members. Information is key when we're looking at compliance. By digitizing processes and workflows, it will enhance the way data is collected, stored, and utilized. It will promote data-driven decisions, reduce siloed software, increase the efficiency, and drive practice compliance. We're really trying to reduce administrative burden and associated costs and liability. And recently, we've seen some big challenges with everything from large VSO practices to suppliers that really caught with data being breached and really causing a lot of potential problems. So what's the big picture? We know we have a robust dental practice management software market with an annual expected growth rate of 11 to 12%. Current market size of around $4.5 billion, expected to reach $7.5 billion by 2030. So what are our key trends? What are we trying to do? Constantly changing regulatory environments creates a lot of compliance challenges and confusion. Also, we believe AI is a big deal, right? Introduction of innovative technologies like artificial intelligence are going to really enhance that predictive analytics and process automation. We also see this rapid move to digitize with software solutions with integration, accessibility, and scalable capability. Moving to a single sign-on digital ecosystem, there's that term ecosystem, with actionable data being collected and shared is key to the actual success. Setting the bar, what's some of our competitive problems that we look at and where we feel we're meeting the call? Although there is a competitive market of healthcare compliance software providers, at Ethics, we are dental focused. Our solution consolidates all functionality in a single offering, global consistency of data, security and privacy benefits, and overall cost-saving opportunities. To recap, Ethics is affordable and scalable, making it a perfect fit for dental practices of all size. We offer exceptional customer support to ensure a smooth transition and ongoing success. Customer support is important, and happy customers is actually very sticky after we get implemented at the location. There's a little overlap between them, but we look at strategic partnerships with mutual enhancement of offerings. Integration with dental practice management software solutions, that's key. Dental supply and distribution companies, insurance providers, actually interesting, carriers offering risk reduction tools to their clients. When we look at compliance consulting, there's a lot of different moving parts there, but we look at dental compliance consultants that have a book of business, and we're trying to help them manage multiple practices to enhance their communication and improve efficiency. We can white label it for them. Collaboration with HIPAA compliance experts, continuing education providers and trainers, infection control support, and policy and procedure guidance. These are all things that we look at as strategic partnerships. We also obviously have direct client support, working with dental service support organizations, multi-location, single location practices. We're a subscription-based plan based on the type and quantity of users in the practice. We're seeing good traction. We have over 100 clients with over 336 locations and close to 4,200 users. Excellent customer reviews that we're seeing. So how are we going to allocate new investment? We're looking for unique strategic partners and investors that really can enhance both of our offerings. This can include dental-focused technology investors, dental software providers and developers, and dental suppliers, compliance consultants, and even providers that are looking to invest in new technology. With that strategy, we believe we can accelerate our product development, including innovative technologies like AI, improved advanced analytics, and software integration. We're going to expand our go-to-market strategy with the addition of sales and marketing team members, expand our operation customer service to ensure an enjoyable onboarding user experience, and promote within this a robust referral program. Our financial objectives, we're seeking to raise $2 million for investor funding. The capital will be allocated towards asset acquisition, expanding the team, operational capability, and driving market efforts. We spent the first 4.5 years building. It's a product that's robust, it's mature, and ready for market right now, as we're seeing. We have an excellent team of staff, team leaders, innovators, support staff, and advisors helping us to execute a successful business model. Currently, we're expanding our advisory board to help navigate the challenging market. Just as a recap, our business intelligence, cloud-based SaaS platform redefines environmental health and safety by replacing outdated manual processes and digital workflows that simplify compliance. It proactively identifies risks, automates corrective actions, and provides real-time insights to improve efficiency, reduce costs, and create safer workplaces. Thank you. Any questions?
Put your links in the chat as well if you guys want to book a call with Mark. He's also got a monthly webinar we work on together and an investor page, and that information is in the chat. So if we don't have any questions, we will move on to Mark Thorson. Mark, you ready to go?
Yes, sir. I'm ready to go. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for your time. I'm Dr. Mark Thorson, retired general dentist, dental educator, dental innovator, and dental sales professional. Dental patients want three things. They want us to do a really good job. Please do it very efficiently, which to them means fast. And the final one is, please don't hurt me. Money's in there somewhere, but it's nowhere near the top. Inflatrix is a simpler, faster, and more comfortable matrix for Class II restorations. The status quo is that dentists are trained with the same basic Hoffelmeyer-based process and methods and materials, and have been for generations. Anybody who's put a Class II filling in as a clinician has probably done exactly the same basic concept. This concept's never really been challenged, and there have been very minor evolutionary steps forward as far as the materials themselves, the ability they have to go forward. And that's wonderful. That's the status quo. I'm not here to tell you that is not functional, because it is. It does work. And there are significant companies that have big market shares in this particular market. I'll be addressing that a little later. The problem with this system is that it takes a long time. average clinicians, like even highly experienced clinicians with a highly trained assisting staff, take between 60 and 75 seconds to just place the hardware around the tooth once the prep is finished. That's an eternity. Patients don't know it. We know it. It can be better. The number of parts to be used. Again, those of you who have handled them. Our dental assistants tend to be responsible for ordering, maintaining, categorizing, setting trays. I'll talk a little bit later about our marketing approach to the dental assistants because they really matter in the arc of a restorative procedure. And finally, which patients have most emphasis on, that it hurts. Even if they're numb during their procedure, and that's awesome, they tend to be uncomfortable for at least 24 hours afterwards. It doesn't have to be that way. Early in my career as an idealistic young clinician, when you're all young, everybody wants to save every tooth, right? This was infuriating to me. There had to be a better way, but there wasn't. And so I had to deal with it and germinated a bunch of ideas over the scope of my career. I'm also a huge James Bond fan, and watching GoldenEye a few years ago, and came to the early segment in the movie where Bond and Q are in the basement testing gadgets, as they often do, and they're near a telephone booth. Why there's a phone booth in the basement of MI6, I don't know. Doesn't matter. A hapless employee goes into the phone booth to make a call, picks up the phone to make the call, and a huge airbag explodes inside the telephone booth, trapping the guy in the corner of the phone booth. My remote went up in the air. My wife stared at me and wondered, what's going on? And I ran out of the room. And an hour later, I had the very first drawing of Inflatrix. It really, truly was a spark of innovation in that moment. This Inflatrix is the solution because it is one piece. It's a polyurethane sandwich with a bumpy side and a smooth side, and I'll go into detail for anybody who has questions. It's much more efficient. It goes into place in less than 30 seconds and significantly less than 30 seconds when you had a few reps with it. And much more comfortable, again, for the patient because the tooth separation forces that it creates are much more tolerable. It gets the job done. In fact, it does equal or better from the current systems. My feedback from beta testers shows it. I'm happy to share that as well. But comfort is one of the big things. We've been on an evolutionary beta test sprint for the last 9 months. And even today, I had another batch of new devices arrive on my bench from my engineer, and we're better than we were a month ago. I'll go into detail at the Q&A. I'm going to play this and then narrate a little bit. This is part of my demo video. And you can see the device here. The smooth side goes up against the cut prep. The flossing motion there, as you can see in the captions. And it's connected to a 3 to 5 milliliter syringe that everybody has. We won't even sell them. It's tap water. No reason to worry about anything fancy. The devices, the materials themselves do not leach anything into the tissues. This is a single-use device. There's no expectation for you to try to reuse it. And it's much easier to handle. You can see at full inflation here. And at this point, you would begin placing your restoration composite as usual. Our market has been fully established very effectively. The US alone, 83 million class 2 restorations are placed every year. The TAM there, as you see, that's all of the GPs and pediatric doctors. And then for the ones under 45 years old, they're our primary target. They are what I'm calling my golden customers. When we make them happy, the rest of the market will begin to take notice because whatever feedback they provide in our process will finalize the MVP. Because I have 9 months of beta test feedback, but we're right at the final percentiles of MVP status. I'll be talking later about our manufacturing processes, et cetera. Target market will grow by 90 million over the next decade, basically because all the old guys like me are going to be retiring and the young people are going to be taking over. The world market, and we will move into the world market in between 24 and 36 months, is double. I don't need to read these things to you, but we are approaching doctors directly in terms of groups, small groups, component societies, through the average media, average meaning consistently known media channels, I have to change that word now because I just went to the seminar in West Palm Beach, and I don't want to be an influencer. I want to be a key opinion leader. It's going to be awesome. But we're recruiting board members in terms of advisors. I'm looking for you if you're interested to join. Your feedback and participation will be greatly respected. Inflatrix.com is our hub. We're increasing the robustness of the site itself. It's very early, but orders can be placed right now. Into the show circuit, that's something that is part of my significant background of success, and we'll be definitely taking part in that. Our gross profit margin is huge. Cost of goods, 6 to 15 cents at planned production levels. The mathematics here you can see is for how we came up with our projections. We have full sheets, 36 months of projections, by the way. The $3 price point is very highly competitive with the current expense that the doctors give on a pre-class 2 basis. So we're good with that. Our confident annual sales projections, year 1 is now going to be 2026. That's why I have stated it this way. But 2 and 3, we're doubling because we're getting into the world markets at those points. Our procedures and planning is in place. We have that all written. I'm going to encapsulate a bunch of feedback here as best I can. Essentially, you can suffice it to say that my claims are being validated in this 4 here. It is easier to use. It is much more comfortable, and it is much simpler, faster. I'm grateful and happy to be able to share those. We've achieved this year the formulation of our business, our structure. We have a Wyoming LLC now that will probably, within the next 6 months, morph into a corp. We've been successful as a winner of a local startup challenge. It was a lot of fun pitching live. I've been competitive pitching live on several occasions, even nationally at the Shills, as you see there. And we are underway with our angel raise for $500,000. I'll happily go into detail about how we can spend that, and we have details and written plans for that as well. Our development beta testing is going to end by the end of Q4. Our due diligence is underway. We have a couple of manufacturers for the ability to build this incredible device. And so that's underway. We're finalizing this large piece of the investor mindset puzzle. My team, Eric and Frank and Andy, are true and blue experts to their own right as far as getting this device built and designed. Huge amount of experience together. And I will say at the very end that Inflatrix is the culmination of my entire career path. 2 years ago, doctors looked at this and said, "This is really cool. You should build this." I was a proud father of something that was cool. And now I'm CEO. Now I have drunk from the fire hose greedily for the last 2 years of training. I've paid for it. And it is paying off because we've built a team. Travis has coaching and mindset and a bunch of experts to help us go forward and build out. So our process of fundraising is key now. And if anyone would like to join us, I'll be happy to speak with you and look forward to further conversation. Any questions?
All right. Thank you, Mark. And I am going to put Mark's information here in the chat. It looks like we do have a couple questions from the chat, Mark.
Thank you very much.
How do you create revenue, and what is your go-to-market strategy?
We create revenue by selling directly to doctors. We have a significant number of plans in place in terms of social media outreach, show circuits. Again, I have significant experience and success in the show circuit, as well as paid ads in printed trade journals and podcasts. Travis has got me lined up beautifully for opportunities for speaking. And so getting into doctors' cases is very important. I appreciate the question.
Yeah, he's in Dental Entrepreneur Magazine, last issue of Dental Entrepreneur Magazine. So encourage you all to keep writing articles. And if you need help getting them in magazines, I've got about 10 that I can get people into.
Yeah, and to answer the final question, thank you again, Vincent. We have 2 patents and a trademark, and the FDA has decided we are K exempt and a class 1 medical device.
Thank you.
Very happy with that.
All right, great.
Thank you.
Well, let's welcome our newest member of the Dental Venture Capital family. Patrick and I have been working together now for just a couple of days. We literally just wrapped this presentation up about 5 minutes before this pitch, and we got about 5 more hours to put into it. All right, Patrick, you want to introduce yourself?
Thank you, Travis, for the introduction. Imagine spending $150 on premium electric toothbrush, only to have it clutter in your bathroom counter, die after 2 weeks, and cost you $40 every time you need replacement heads. That's why 40% of Americans that buy electric toothbrushes eventually give up and go back manual brushing. That's 79 million frustrated customers. As you can see here, we got reviews off Amazon, and you can see some of the pain points that most people experience. Bulky charging docks, short battery life, bacteria buildup, expensive replacements, and travel inconvenience. Hi, my name is Patrick. My company is called Oral Glee. We're bringing the world's first electric toothbrush with wireless wall charging and UVC sterilization. So think of it as an iPhone of toothbrushes with an award-winning design that actually solves every pain point competitors ignore. Here's why this is a no-brainer. Our competitor, Snow, which basically they sell teeth whitening strips and also electric toothbrushes, generated $1 million in their first 4 days using micro-influencer strategy and marketing, which scaled to $80 million in a few years. We are deploying their exact playbook. 50 micro creators posted daily on TikTok with a superior product retailed at $99 to $129 versus their commodity whitening strips. What I'm seeking for is a $500,000 line of credit to place our first inventory order and launch the Micro Influencer Blitz. Our FOB cost will be roughly between $20 and $28. We retail at $99 to $119, giving us a 70% gross margin. Based on Snow's results, we'll do $400K in the first 30 days, $1.2 million in 90 days, and I'll probably have you paid back in 7 months for 3x return on your money. There's some competitors, as you can see here. Oral-B is currently the market leader. We have Quip on the market, retailing at $45 to $65. Sure, a lot of you have seen Burst in Target and Walmart. Snow, one of the leading teeth whitening focused brand. And we have, of course, us, Oral Glee, which we introduced the first wireless wall charger and UVC sterilization with a 90-day battery. Travis, this is a 2-man team for now. Travis is my advisor, and would like to bring him in as a co-founder of Oral Glee. We have a 3-year consolidated financial forecast. In year 1, we plan to sell 17K plus units with a total revenue of $1.8 million, with a cost of goods sold at $561,000, with a gross profit of $1.2. Operating expenses roughly be around $457,000, with an EBITDA of $810,000 the first year and a margin of 44.3. As you can see here, we're requesting a line of credit, and the use of funds will be initially for our first order fulfillment at $300,000. We need to invest in marketing, micro-influencer campaign at $125,000, $40,000 for working capital, a contingency reserve for $35,000, which would total $500,000. We can offer a $3 royalty per unit sold until $750,000 is repaid. That's a 1.5 times return. After cap, total timeline will be 12 to 15 months. We estimate to full payback. After cap, royalty can drop to 50 cents in perpetuity or end completely. Thank you very much, and this is my pitch.
Any questions for Patrick?
From Vincent, have you got any LOIs or distribution contracts in place?
In the US, no, not as of yet. We have 2 I call it the two God products that we have. We've met with the manufacturer. We invested about 100,000 for the tooling and for our first two, but our first strategy or go to market is direct to consumer on Shopify and Amazon. And then once we develop enough traction, then we'll seek out distribution and probably major retailers and so forth.
Well, have you got any revenue to date?
No, we're a startup.
Okay.
Pre-revenue.
Thank you.
And any studies done, Maria asked.
Not really, but this is again base. We've scoured the market in terms of gathering enough information on pain points and to see what's out there in comparison. We have two patents. We have two provisional patents filed. One for the wall charger, and then one is for the self-contained UV sterilization.
All right. Perfect. Great job, Patrick. All right. And I'm going to pause for one more quick commercial too, because I wanted to mention a little bit about an upcoming event that I'm co-hosting. Some of you have attended this last year, the Dental VIP Summit. It's the day before the Chicago Midwinter. And so I'm co-hosting that with Marty Jabro, Jeremy Krell, and myself. And a great opportunity to meet industry leaders, key opinion leaders. Anybody that's a part of my program will attend for free, and you guys will all be pitching at this event. And you'll have an opportunity to get in front of quite a few investors. I'll put the link to the chat there. And if anybody on the call wants to book a call with me, you can go to dentalvc.org and book a call with me there as a follow-up. Without further ado, Alvin, you are up.
All right. Thanks, Travis. Let me pull this up.
There was a question from Michael. I appreciate all the questions, guys. How much marketing do you need to show success as you project? Or for Albert, or excuse me, for Patrick. The answer there.
I'm sorry, what was the question?
How much do you need to show success as you project? So what's the marketing budget, essentially?
Oh, I would say 125,000 for our initial influencer campaign. But overall, initially 500,000 would suffice to put our first batch. And I would say 150 for our first batch order, and then another second batch. And so this is all within the 500K ask.
Yeah, he's got about 10 slides in the initial presentation that we took out to talk about the marketing strategy and the influencer campaigns and that type of thing. So happier to go deeper into that with you, Michael. All right, Alvin.
Awesome. Can you guys see it?
Yep.
All right. Awesome. I'm just grateful to be here. I'm grateful for those that are on this call, and also to Travis for hosting this. My name is Alvin Utai, founder and CEO of Elite Dental Force. Elite Dental Force is a startup SaaS company located in Saratoga Springs, Utah. We've been doing this for about 5 years, and a lot of this has been invested through me. I've been bootstrapping it. But Elite Dental Force's focus is to ultimately streamline the billing and the insurance side of things. And our mission is to truly bridge the communication gap between dental office staff members, insurance companies, and patients. And before I jump into the story of how we started, I first want to share with you guys the problem that we're addressing. The problem that we're addressing is that dental offices and DSOs are losing time, money, and energy in dealing with the insurance and billing process, making it hard for them to either hit their bottom line or to increase their profitability. And so for somebody that has done the outsourcing side, I've done research. We've been doing this for about 5 years, and a majority of the 5 years has been research and development. And so what we found within our research is that dental offices are losing anywhere from 200 to 800 hours. And even with the software that we have now, we're still losing that amount. And then we've also identified that there's a huge revenue leakage. It's about $16 billion every year. That's about 10% of your total dental revenue. We've also understood that the industry average for first pass clean claim rate is about 70 to 80%. And our goal as a company is to be able to get you your claims submitted correctly the first time, not second or third. Because if you have to go into the second or third, that's where the 20 to 25% comes. That's where you're wasting more energy and wasting more time into going and redoing those things. We've also understood that on the bird's eye view, we've identified that there's approximately 183,900 dental offices in the US, and 80 to 85% of them go through insurance. And if 50 to 60% of the revenue comes from the insurance, that's a problem. That's a huge problem. And 70% of that is PPO. Administrative costs is 15 to 25%. Loss due to errors or write-offs is about 5 to 15%. This is the problem that we're facing. A lot of this is all caused by interoperability, inaccurate data that's out in the market right now. And so it makes it very hard for you to go in and have certain systems talk to each other. And this is the reason why AI hasn't even gotten to a 1 to 2% lift within the billing and the insurance side of things. So our solution to this is a software called Edify. Edify is your one-stop solution for all of the billing and the insurance needs for dental offices. And how this works is Edify's core engine is built off of a system called DMEC. It's define, measure, analyze, improve, and control. So it allows us to collect more and also have less denials come through. Edify has the ability to submit and track the claim, so we would be able to know exactly where the claim is within the process. We also have the ability to know exactly where your money is. And then there's two sides to this. There's the billing side and then the eligibility side and the fee schedule side. So the eligibility side is looking to launch in the fourth quarter of this year. We're doing beta tests with 2 offices out here in Utah. And we're also a Utah local company up in Saratoga Springs. And the eligibility side is huge because within the eligibility, we see that there's inaccurate information that is being given. So you're not getting your metrics, you're not getting your breakdowns, the history. And so there's issues to that. Edify also has the ability to scrub the claim before the claim even gets submitted in. So it takes all the information, all of your CDT codes, doctor's narratives, x-rays, it puts it all into one system, and then it actually gives you a probability of how that's going to be accepted when it's being submitted the first time. It also has treatment planning. Treatment planning is huge. This is where we're losing a lot of the opportunities because we don't have a follow-up or we don't have the right pitch to pitch to the patients. And so Edify has the ability to provide the best way to pitch it to your clients. And this is the eligibility side. This is how it works. It coordinates the clearinghouse and the dental office. Clearinghouses, they do a phenomenal job, but at the end of the day, again, you run into issues with the clearinghouses and PMS because they don't read each other or they don't communicate with each other as well. Edify is baked in with that Lean Six Sigma improvement to where it will go in and normalize the data, and it will tell you exactly what the steps are and how you can overcome those things. So what makes us different is we have a continuous learning AI that adapts to dentistry's messy, high denial environment. But what also makes us different is we prevent the issue from happening. So before a claim is even submitted, we would know exactly whether or not it's going to be approved. And that's based off of rules and things that we've been able to implement into this wireframe. And then another thing that makes it different is we have a full appeals life cycle where Other Stop Edify automates the entire journey and guides you through that journey. And then it has a DNA that's purpose built for CDT codes, payer rules, and complex workflows. And what also makes us different is our team. We have a mix of clinicians, we have a mix of technology, and a mix of operation. We truly believe that by bringing these individuals together, we can really bridge these gaps and make it to where there's a huge effect that can help the industry. So we have Seti, who has years of experience in the operation side. We have Travis, who has phenomenal networking, and he'll also be helping with the go-to-market. We have Alex, who's developed multiple integrations within the industry. We have Ben Tuane, who's a huge key to this. He's the owner of Veritas. They do all the negotiations and fees for dentists. when it comes to the PPO services, and he's also the one that gets them out of those contracts. And so he brings a different dynamic to the game. And then we also have Dr. Siona, Matt, and then the girls up top. These guys are all been in the industry for years. They have about 40 plus years of experience. These are our partners. And we're also putting a partnership right now with Mulligan, who is a financial institution that can provide financial options to your patients. All that is all set up into Edified. If you guys are wanting to see that, there's a demo that we can go through that shows the power of what it can do for you, and it simplifies everything. So this is our business model. Our business model is, it's a subscription, a monthly subscription fee that can range anywhere from $5,000 to about $6,000 a year. And then on top of it, we earn about 2 to 3% of what we collect. And that just all depends on the terms in the partnership. So again, 250 to about 583. We want to make sure that this is affordable for a lot of those that are struggling with this process. This is our incentives and goals. This is our product roadmap. And then this is your market. A lot of you guys are already familiar with that. And this is our ask. Right now, we're asking $250,000 to finish up the rest of implementations of the eligibility side. And we're raising a 12.5 million post money cap. And the minimum investment is about 25,000. And then where it's going to go, a lot of it will go to your products. Now, I put on here marketing and acquisition, but we're already in the process of doing marketing. We're sending out emails and stuff like that to a lot of doctors to see the demo and then ask the doctors, hey, listen, if this is something that you guys would like to see in the practice, because it's built off of clinicians, and if it was available in the market, would you purchase it? And that's how we're getting the LOIs. And those LOIs will give us more of a product market fit, knowing that this product will work for a lot of the offices that are out there. And so that's how you can get a hold of me. You can book an appointment to see the demo. And that's me.
Look at that timing, buddy. All right. Any questions for Alvin? I love it. Love the experience of doing this for everybody, just how it gets everybody to that next level. Great job, Alvin.
Thanks.
All right. Patrick, you are up.
All right.
Yeah.
Thanks, Travis. All right. Yes. Thank you guys. No, I've been keeping you guys late. I believe the last one of the show. So I appreciate you guys hearing us out. But I'm Patrick Hanna, COO at OrisCX. We are launching the oral lesion saliva DNA test. This is a tumor genomics product that is assisting with head and neck cancer detection. Many of you may have seen a bit of our story actually down in West Palm Beach a week ago. Our team is rounded out with world-class clinicians. So this was founded at the University of Chicago Hospital System, as well as the Johns Hopkins labs. They were frustrated head and neck surgeons operating on patients that were detected with oral cancers too late. So they developed a tool, simple, non-invasive, for high accuracy of detecting oral cancer. We've rounded out our team with leaders in the field from dentistry, the medicine, as well as the venture side. And many of you who are clinicians today may have actually seen this problem firsthand. Standard of care is visual and tactile inspection as it relates to oral cancer. When you're looking with the eyeball test, you are simply unable to determine which of these lesions may in fact lead to oral cancer. This was a slide presented at the ADA's Oral Cancer Summit alongside the Midwinter event last year, marking in a premier oral pathologist. And so in this instance, it's actually the upper left and bottom. And this is simply why precision diagnostics matter. Our product specifically has a sensitivity of 93% and specificity of 99%. Anything well above the 90% accuracy mark is going to lead to that reimbursement opportunity, where we are going to bridge between medical and dental, being able to capture revenues from insurance through this model. Many of you who may have encountered products like Cologuard would prefer to use a lab tested product rather than things like in head and neck cancer, which is visual to biopsy. In place of using a colonoscopy, you may opt to stool test by something like Exact Sciences. So we are bringing next generation science and lab testing products into the dental market. There's a huge market opportunity here, given that there's a burden of cost on the healthcare system, knowing that the vast majority of these cases are caught late stage. This is something that we are building with many of leaders in the field, working with Cigna Dental and doing a bunch of market research. Henry Schein shared independent research, and at 15,000, over 80% are interested in using our product. We know that there's also the carrot for the clinicians. The doctor can script it and the hygienist can actually administer the sample collection. It only takes 2 minutes to Swiss churl, spit into a tube and send it to our lab. The whole process takes about a week to return the results, and they're able to collect the revenue off of existing billing codes in place. You'll see some of the data as it relates to accuracy marks and citations here on our slide. Please feel free to reach out to me after the fact so we can have more robust, in-depth conversation on this topic. I want to close out letting you guys know that we still have $1 million available in our current round. This round was led by Revere Partners and CareQuest Innovation Partners. As many of you guys know, leaders in the oral health VC space. Dr. Ed Zuckerberg is sitting on our board of directors as well, and we're excited to work with any and all of you guys. Last little plug, there is a current special purpose vehicle made available to clinicians and friends that are interested, even if their ticket size may be a touch smaller. Thank you for your time today, guys.
All right. Thank you to everybody that's joined. Thanks to all the investors and all the attendees.